Well, what's going on, guys? It's 3:53 in the afternoon. It's the 16th of November 2023, the Weaver, John City, Roseman, California. You're a zombie out here, and also the diary of the griever named John Weaver, which is me. Yeah, kind of like a double header today. Uh, I was just served a bit of Thanksgiving dinner by my apartment management staff. I got Domino's. They dug out the leftover Halloween candy. They popped some popcorn. You know, kind of remind me of Snoopy's Thanksgiving. Or I'm sorry, the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Still call it Snoopy because he was cooking. Jelly beans, popcorn, something else. But a get together with friends, sharing of a meal. And the reason why I am marked on this one being the diary of the griever named John Weaver, we're dealing with family. And I must admit, it still gets to me. I'd seen shows concerning about Thanksgiving. I'd seen other shows concerning about family, which is still kicking my butt. Other people right now are not as fortunate as we are in the States. They don't know or wouldn't even be able to celebrate a holiday like we have right now because they have nothing to celebrate and be thankful for. Overseas, everything else is going to hell in a handbasket. Not just a war zone in Ukraine and not just a war zone in Israel with Palestinians about to be turned into extinct people in the name of hunting down Hamas. Hamas was the violent frustration and rage of the Palestinian people who didn't like the Israelis coming back or taking control like crazy. Hell, it's been about, 16 years since Hamas really did some damage on Israel, but this one's the worst for right now. So all hell's breaking loose. If that's not something of a showstopper, try this one. Give out the wiki. What the hell was it called again? Somewhere in. Hold on. I'm looking under Google Maps right now under Iceland. They're by the Blue Lagoon in Iceland. Area had been shut down because of geologic activity. According to a geologist or two, uh, eruption could be imminent. They've been experiencing earthquakes for weeks. Sometimes smaller ones, sometimes larger ones, and a town had to be evacuated. A hot spot of geologic nature called the Blue Lagoon and everything else in the area had to be called off because of the major quakes and potential gassing. Well, they do have gassing out there, but potential eruptions of volcanism. They don't celebrate Earth. Actually, they don't celebrate United States Thanksgiving holiday. It's a national holiday. But even if it was, they wouldn't be able to be thankful for it except for them being alive. And then we get down to the United States. We got shootings again. We got people trying to get murdered, mugged, robbed left and right. And for those that haven't been experiencing it, they get to be thankful that they got what they have, that they're still alive, that maybe there's still justice in the world, or maybe it's still delayed for whatever reason. I said about management here, giving us I put this in a bag to protect it from the bugs. And it's just pepperoni pizza from Domino's and a couple of wicked Reese's Pieces hats and some popcorn. For some people, it'll probably look like it's just, what is that? Well, what it is a way of management trying to say, thank you for being our tenants and not being a pain in the ass. Maybe it's a sign of affection at this point over here, but sometimes you have to celebrate with people concerning about the holidays, no matter how lousy you feel about it. And believe me, during these days, I'm really feeling lousy about it because every time I keep doing my videos, I'm always having that kind of a camera angle. I'm always reminding myself and the viewer all the time what this channel is primarily. I deal with grieving, I deal with mourning, I deal with mental health issues, I deal with life issues, I deal with my own recordings and my own viewpoints of what's going on these days. I may be conflicting with everybody else. I may be conflicting with myself. But I wanted to tell people that these things matter. These things matter. And it's hard as hell to keep putting up the brave face. Outside, I ran out with my cell phone because I saw some of the cloud formations and sunlight trying to get into positions. And I have been trying to get some shots of potential sun rays. Uh, hobby of mine. A hobby of mine. Because to me it mattered, and I like sun rays, and maybe using it for schoolwork, but I always drawn to it. Every time we have major clouds coming through and it's nearly sunset, I try to get the sun in certain positions if I could and see the sun rays because they are so spectacular. But the hardest hit here is when I looked at the community room that we have. I mean, it's usually used for um, other things, but also for storage at times. Management needs to store stuff, move stuff around. Sometimes we get it ready for holidays, other times we don't. But in this situation, it was needed. It was needed because they opened up the place, opened up tables, brought in several pizzas just to show their appreciation. And I tell you, it hurts. It hurts because when I start wishing someone else to them and their family a happy Thanksgiving, it hurts me. But I'm hoping it helps them. It hurts me because I am also constantly reminded of the people that I don't have around me. And that is selfish and self centered, and it still hurts like hell, and it's still part of the grieving process. I'm reminded of the times that David and I had fixed Thanksgiving meal for Mama for a lot of her years. She had taken herself out of the cooking situation regarding the holiday when David became mastery of the turkey. I was just a cook for short order or for casseroles or soups or stuff. If I can get it fixed, I can get it fixed. If I can get the stew going, I'll get the stew going. I had food poisoned anyway in those days. I miss having a working stove to do that too. It hurts me because I'm reminded of those things constantly and how much those memories meant to me. Still mean. The only time I actually fixed a turkey in my lifetime, Ma wasn't even alive during that time. Dave still took it upon himself, and I did kitchen prep, clean up the kitchen, get the vegetables, get the major things going on, the stuffing. Dave would do the potatoes. Sometimes we had to switch to mashed potatoes. Instant. Quick, easy, get it done. The longer term is when you throw the potatoes actually are peeled like crazy, about 8 or 10 of them. Rest it's work, but if they're smaller, okay, fine. But if they're larger, that's okay too. You cut them up in chunks, boil them up to a point, and then you start mashing like crazy. And David had to have the arm strength for that one too, and he did. He mashed. In his younger days, he had the endurance for that one. He mashed. And we made gravy. Backets, but we had gravy. And the stuffing, Mrs. Kebbison's stuffing. We had to have ingredients for that one. We had to have cut up onions for that one. We had to have cut up celery. Guess who did the cut up all the time? Food prep. Kitchen prep, food prep. Then the cleanup. But with the Kebbisons, when we had them translucent, we put them on the side. We put them in with the mixture. We threw in cooked sausage. We had a roll of the Jimmy Dean. We cooked up, crumbled up, drained it, threw it into the sausage. Actually, threw the sausage into the stuffing mix. And then start mixing it up with a little bit of orange juice. We used to do the Minute Maid all the time. Frozen was working a long time ago, but these days, you get the bottle, throw it in there. These days, if I wanted to do that kind of thing, I'll just throw in a Tang. Not, not the greatest though, but and let's see, what was that? After we had the stuffing fixed up, we put them in the containers that I still have in here. They were all greased up, or pammed up anyway. Buttered them like crazy, and then off your hands. Make sure you cleaned them off before. And Pam worked just as well. Sprayed the whole damn thing, including the lid, so they didn't stick. And then shoved it in the refrigerator. Kept them in there for a while. The night before Thanksgiving, and all that had to be done. Because the next day, came the fun part. Of course, if you actually had a roll of crescent rolls. Or biscuits. And 2 or 3 days earlier, Dave's already got the turkey out, trying to thaw it up in the refrigerator, and in the last minute, you just doused the damn thing for about 24 hours in a bathtub. Of course, the bathtub had to be scrubbed out. Domestic. I haven't showed my domestic side in a long while. Yeah, I only had Don and Dave on my ass all the time. Actually, Ma. Sometimes I missed that. I do. She kept driving me and egging me on. Is the bathroom done yet? Every week. Gotta get a bathroom done. Is the kitchen clean? Or did you already go to the bathroom already? Dishpan diarrhea. Did that as a younger kid. She wanted me to clean up the damn bathroom. I went to the toilet first, did my business, then came out. Half hour later. Dishes are still not done yet, John. I'm coming, Ma. Just put them in the dishwasher. Run the dishwasher. There's no problem with that. And I have to do that constantly, too. But getting back to the turkey, a butterball, about a 20-pounder. That'd keep us alive for about 3, maybe 1 or 2 weeks if we're lucky enough. Stuffing would be gone by then. Gravy would I'd constantly get influx of. And then, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, my brother and I are up. I still got the kitchen cleaned up enough. I got the pans out for it. I got the roasting pan out there. The holder for the turkey. the kind of crooks that had to be cleaned and cleaned, dried, and panned. Had to have the roasting pan foil lined. Everything had to be panned underneath. Put the put the foil on it, heavy duty. Make sure everything else is secured on the damn thing. And then put the rack. Then comes the fun part. You get the turkey, and then you get the giblets out there. You start up with the giblet gravy. You start boiling and simmering that stuff. When you actually had four burners working, four burners, sometimes six, depending on what the stove you've got. Because you need all four of them anyway. So the burner in the back is doing this giblet gravy. It's just simmering the stuff already. But the other two you've already got available or in front of you, so the roasting pan's right there. Dave was taught a lesson a long time ago by a Navy cook. And he had me doing this one for my first and only time cooking a turkey. Somewhere I've got old pictures of him hiding about. You get underneath the skin, you have to have gloves on. But you get underneath the skin and you have butter. And you're buttering, you're massaging the meat underneath the skin. If you can get underneath there, including the breast, just massage it with the butter. We threw in 2 onions for flavor. Have to flavor it up a bit. And we had it set in the oven for about 6 hours, certain temperature. Butterball usually gives us the directions on that one. And we'd started 7 or 8 o'clock. So by the time 4 o'clock came, we were ready to eat the thing. Of course, that's 8 hours, but it takes a couple hours just to get things set up. So while we get the turkey in there cooking, the giblets are getting done. Have to cut them up. We'll make giblet gravy. We get turkey gravy, and then we throw the stuff into it. A little bit of seasonings in the thing. In one particular pot, we've had some onion flavoring in it. We take out the onions and everything else. Just cut up the giblet. Put it aside until we're ready to make a gravy out of the thing. Mashed potato, well, that's usually done about 1 or 2 hours before eating. Just make sure everything's fresh on that one. And when a turkey comes out, it usually rests about a half hour. That's the time to shove everything else in the oven. Get the stuffing done about 15, 20 minutes, and after that, we get the biscuits done. About 10, maybe more, maybe less. Or the crescent rolls. And also, before we have dinner, we must set up the table. Depending on where we lived, that's where we had to set up at. The last few years when we were living in an apartment in Lancaster, and when she was actually able to get up, maybe the first 2 or 3 years, we'd have the card table set up. We would have the food out. Dave had already taken out the turkey and let the thing rest, and after that, he'd start carving the thing up like crazy. We'd have the dishes for the stuffing ready, the gravy ready, the wicker baskets for the biscuits. You know, when you're doing the stuffing or the cabezins, we had this big, huge metal mixing bowl we'd had for decades. We'd use that thing like crazy. We had to hand wash that monster because it would never go into a dishwasher. I always had to hand wash that little monster from hell. And everything else I had to throw in the dishwasher and let it run. Of course, I had to clean it up the grease first before throwing it in the dishwasher. But before the meal started, we always did grace. We always gave thanks. And then we dug in. Sometimes we'll have the television on, sometimes we won't have the television on. If there was a football game, Dave's listening to it. Dogs would be around us, driving us nuts. There had been one time we actually had a Thanksgiving feast. We actually had people over. We actually had family and friends over in different places. Had to make sure the place was spotless, except for the bedrooms. But restroom had to be clean. Kitchen had to be clean. The hallways and the living room had to be cleaned. Last time Dave and I made something of a major thing like that, it was over here before. We lost the functionality of the stove. But my first and only time doing a turkey was a few years back in the trailer home we just moved into the thing. It's been about 3 or 4 weeks, and we wanted to give thanks and invited a few friends over who helped us move. We wanted to share Thanksgiving with them. I fixed a turkey and I didn't kill him. Hadn't cooked like that in a long while. Dave was proud of me. I did him proud just the first time out. Because I was paying attention and praying I didn't give us salmonella or food poisoning. It's hard as hell to celebrate Thanksgiving without thinking back of the family and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I remember I have the memories of them. We actually had holidays coming up, and then we'd feast on Thanksgiving. We would feast on turkey. At one time, we actually had Cornish hens. When we were desperate enough, we actually got pizza for Thanksgiving. Went out to a pizzeria and got pizza, or ate out there for pizza. Seeing the pizza that they had brought over, it was still their way of saying thank you. I mean, yeah, turkey dinner would have been fine if we actually had turkey and stuffing and everything else. You know, it gets to me sometimes. Have those microwavable dinners with the turkey crap in there. Stuff will sit on the shelves for months on end. And then you put them in the microwave and it don't taste like it. Or look like it. Covered in this brown gravy. There's supposed to be some meat and some stuffing and potato. So people say, hey, where's the cranberry? Bring it your own. Get your own cranberry. I wasn't a cranberry fanatic. Still not. They haven't had a cranberry jelly. We always got that can of cranberry jelly. I guess maybe I'm going to have to get that one too. As for the rolls, if I actually hit them up right, but I'm getting steamed a bit too badly, I think I could do them. Couldn't cook them in a microwave or anything else, but somehow I'd get them steamed without getting soggy or anything else like that, just to warm them up a little bit. I'm trying not to feel miserable. I'm trying not to overreact on this one or even go crazy on the thing. because I suppose I could over emote. Just feel the blahs and just say, "Oh, it's okay. I just can't deal with this." No, I'm still having a problem trying to deal with this holiday season. I'm still trying to look at myself and think I can actually handle this day like crazy. Not the easiest damn thing in the world to deal with, but it's there. I could badmouth the holiday season or even what's been going on these days. I mean, there's a lot of crap happening these days that it's just almost not possible being thankful for of anything. It's like you expect a miracle before you be thankful for anything. That's how it feels, and it's like the sediment is hanging around somehow. I guess Ma and Dave would probably be disappointed if me. I happen to spend another holiday meal just being miserably and depressed about it and not giving thanks to anybody and not even him about it. I don't know it would be perfectly understandable if I just continue to sink into the damn mire and just be miserable like crazy and just say, oh, I can't deal with it. Or I can try faking it until I make it. Pretend. Go outside, I have to pretend a little bit. If I wasn't enthused about the shifting of the clouds, and right now it's too late for the shots right now as it is, I would have gotten, if I didn't have those cloud shots or go out there with the camera with the intention of getting those shots, I don't know if I'd be going outside or not just to see what was going on because I was just feeling like, why the hell am I out here in the first place? Nobody gives a shit. Why the hell should I give a shit? Who the hell cares about you? Nobody cares about me, so I'll just be miserable like a sorry son of a bitch. It'll already be worse than a Grinch. Grinch of Thanksgiving. Yeah. But the thing of it is, families came in. Families came in. They're like a son of a bitch seeing them. One of the kids out there noticed little girl wasn't with me. Every time I was out there, little girl was always with me. Well, I didn't want to bring her out here in the first place. She's got too many people out there mulling around. But the thing is about what matters to me is somebody actually gave a shit about it. Somebody actually noticed. I mean, I am so tempted of going off on the limb on this one and just being a negative drawback on this one. Just blah, leave me alone. This misery just drips over here. Yeah, I feel miserable. I feel like a very depressed, sorry son of a sea dog. And it's like, leave me the heck alone. I'm going to be just blah on everybody at this point. I mean, that's a part of me feeling right now. It's resonating like crazy. That, what am I doing to myself? I'm becoming the most miserable human alive. No wonder nobody else wants to deal with me. No wonder I got this thing going on that's resonating throughout a lot of people and everywhere else, and I am just a miserable person. I'll pretend I'm a good guy, but inside I'm a miserable person. Why the hell would they want to know about this one here? And the thing is, there's nobody outside to blame or to make them the scapegoat for this thing. I still, with the mourning, I still deal with the grieving and the mourning process. I still deal with the depression. On some moments, I get moment of mania. They probably call me ADHD or worse. Flip with personality or something. Personality disorder, deficit disorder, or maybe I'm psychotic and don't even realize I'm psychotic. And if I am psychotic, oh boy, but still, but still, they call me manic depressive. I wouldn't put it past them. See, I wouldn't put it past them because if I was starting to experience those kind of emotions and trying to pretend like I'm this way, but inside I am just torn apart, but I have to show them the facade and veneer of it all. Because I don't want them to get on my case and saying that, John, you're what is with you? You know, you lose family, you lose friends, you lose dogs, you lose. And dealing with the depression and dealing with the grief and mourning like crazy. It should not have to be shunned. It should not have to be put into a cage and just say, stay there and rot and just feel miserable for the rest of your existence. I mean, some days if I can win, if I can just work or do something and focus on that and not fall into that kind of mire again, at least for a short time, then maybe it's worth it. Maybe it was worth it for me going outside the door and talking with a few neighbors and even talking with management. Sabrina's the assistant manager over here, and me talking with her and just giving her a hug. What I wanted to do for a longer time is give a longer hug because I needed the human contact. I wanted to feel like I'm a worthwhile human being that still craves that kind of human connection. I still want it. Well, I'll hug her husband if I could. And I'd tell him, love your wife and your children with everything you got. And you give it more than what you have. Enjoy every single minute, despite the fact things may go crazy. Because one of these here days when they're gone, you're gonna kill yourself over this damn thing. Like I've been doing mine for a long while. And it's gonna hurt like hell. You gotta enjoy what you had, what you have. Tomorrow you may not have it. It's not the physical junk. It's the people around you that matter the most. It's the animals around you that matter because they're family. And to me, the most important thing in this holiday season is family. It kills me every time I keep seeing the news right now that families are getting killed off left and right. There's not a damn thing I can do to stop it except just talking about it and praying about it. That's the only thing I know how to do right now. I can try to enjoy somewhat of a Thanksgiving meal, but be humble and be grateful for the thing. Other people won't. They're not in a position for it. Just be appreciative of what you've got. Give thanks when you can. Because it matters. It matters. I guess that's my Thanksgiving message for this year.